future as young people.
Hands off is the rallying cry, as hundreds of Bloomington activists join a nationwide movement demanding a halt to government overreach and what they call a constitutional crisis.
And cleanup is still underway after severe storms swept the state. Some areas near Bloomington face significant flooding. We have the sights from across the area, and we'll hear from someone whose home got the worst of it.
And a first-of-its-kind festival on IU's campus, a lively celebration of the continent and nations of Africa. IU NewsNet starts now. Welcome to IU NewsNet. I'm Nick Rodecap.
And I'm Kelsey Pease. We begin with some breaking news. Today, Indiana graduate students staged what they call an emergency rally at the Sample Gates.
The Graduate Student Coalition says the Department of Homeland Security is revoking the visas of several international graduate workers here at IU, and they want the IU administration to put a halt to it. Our own Claire Tips covered the rally for us. Claire?
Thank you, Nick and Kelsey. That's right. I am standing here just outside of the Sample Gates where the Indiana Graduate Worker Coalition, or IGWC, has decided to meet for their emergency rally. Let's take a listen. So what you just heard was the IGWC calling on IU to step in after hearing of multiple instances where international grad workers had their visas revoked by the Department of Homeland Security. These students are teaching classes and doing research here at IU, and now they're facing the possibility of losing their jobs, their homes, and their immigration status. The coalition is demanding emergency academic leave for those affected, as well as a clear plan to make sure students can stay in school and finish their degrees.
These students, these are not just students, but they are workers. They came from their home countries to study, to not just study here, but to work here. They teach students, they conduct research in labs, they bring in grants, they create publications, they do a number of things that build the reputation and the resources of this institution, and so they deserve its support in return.
At the Bloomington Faculty Council meeting on Tuesday, IU Provost Raul Shrivastava confirmed that some IU student visas are being canceled. He said, quote, "There are certain constraints we have. No institution actually controls visa issues. Those are federal regulations and federal jurisdiction. With what is within our ability, we are trying to help as best as we can. We've had a small number relative to some other institutions. It is an ongoing process," end quote. We will continue to follow the story as it develops. Thank you guys. Now back to you at the desk, Nick and Kelsey.
Thanks, Claire. At the Bloomington Faculty Council meeting on Tuesday, there was a different protest, this one directed at IU administration. Students and staff met outside Franklin Hall during the final BFC meeting of the school year. These rallies have been consistent throughout the semester. Participants continue to demand three things: divestment from IU's partnership with Crane, the Naval Service Warfare Center, as well as calling for the resignations of President Pamela Whitten and Provost Raul Shrivastava. Inside, the provost gave his State of the Campus report, highlighting campus achievements and addressing school-wide concerns for the future.
Bloomington residents filled the county courthouse square over the weekend to protest Trump administration policies. It was part of a nationwide movement entitled Hands Off. Activists, students, and community members all united in a call to protect personal freedom and stop what they call government overreach. IU NewsNet's Jack Bassett was there, and Jack, they even showed up in the rain.
Nick, they certainly did. That phrase, hands off, was everywhere at the Monroe County Courthouse Square on Saturday. For protesters, hands off is a call to action on a range of different issues, all sparked by policies and orders from President Trump in his first months back in office. And rain did not dampen the determination of protesters, raising their voices.
We don't have time to be defunding the EPA. We don't have time to be baby drilling.
We are not going to watch fascism go across the globe and take away people's freedoms.
It was wet, windy, and yet a sea of sign-toting dissenters still stood in solidarity.
We're out here because this is wrong. What is happening is wrong, and we have to stand up.
Standing up and hoisting a message to the current U.S. political landscape, both literally and figuratively.
Okay, mine is Women Over Patriarchy, WAP. I don't know if I can say this on IU NewsNet, but...
From reproductive rights and LGBTQ plus protections, to immigration, climate policy, and funding attacks, the crowd calling for the halt of government overreach and corporate influence. The targets, President Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk.
Our Social Security is being taken away. Somebody who wasn't elected, who's only apparently claimed to fame as being really, really rich, and not really anything else, it seems like.
The rally was one of many held nationwide. This one organized by the Monroe County Democratic Party. Bloomington Mayor Carrie Thompson was in attendance, as well as many IU students.
It doesn't feel right to just sit at home and do nothing, because it's our future on the line.
Yeah, it is our future.
A future many of the protesters say is heading towards a constitutional crisis.
Please get angry. Please, please, please get mad, because what's happening right now is not okay.
Get upset.
Get angry.
Get angry. Like, this is not right. This is not the way our government is supposed to work. We learned about checks and balances in civics. Like, you're not supposed to be able to buy your way into doing what you want.
Saturday's Hands Off event had some tense moments, with multiple vehicles displaying Trump flags circling the courthouse square, with drivers shouting at the demonstrators. Police say there were no major clashes, however. Protesters tell me they plan many more local rallies here in Bloomington in response to what's happening in Washington. Nick and Kelsey, now back to you.
Thanks, Jack. Vandals hit some Tesla superchargers here in Bloomington as part of a wider trend targeting Tesla stations and vehicles nationwide. It's a company owned by Elon Musk. Locally, vandals sprayed foam all over the chargers outside Fresh Time, leaving the chargers unusable for drivers. The stations are backed up and running now, but the incident is part of a bigger pattern. Nationwide, vandals have set charging stations on fire, spray painted them, even hit some dealerships with Molotov cocktails. The Monroe County GOP released a statement condemning the vandalism and calling on local Democrats to do the same.
Bloomington and surrounding areas are still recovering from heavy flooding after several days of continuous rain. The southern half of Indiana got hit hard. For some people, there is no calm after the storm, not after dealing with water in their homes. Our Lacey Carr has the story.
Last week saw massive storms that brought days and days of rain. Rainfall that led to severe flooding, which seeped into many homes.
We were bailing water out with like a trash can, and the situation was kind of dire. Like, we were just doing anything we could to get the water out.
In a 4-day period, Bloomington saw just over 6.5 inches of rain.
We hit what they call the 25-year recurrence interval. So it's a storm that could happen once every 25 years.
Some Indiana residents are still recovering.
I had to throw away a lot of stuff, which really sucked.
Even highways and interstates like I-69 were partially closed due to the floods.
Engineers designed to make sure that new infrastructure is going to be out of floodways and not be impacted by floodwaters. So it was interesting to find a very new engineered infrastructure that was inundated during the storm.
To check which roads are closed during or after a storm, you can search up Monroe County Road Closure Map Viewer. Once on the website, you can view road closures, lane restrictions, and road detours so you can always stay in the know. There are some rules of the road when it comes to flooding, and those are still in play this week.
When there is water on the road or roads are closed, listen to the authorities, turn around, don't drown. Don't drive into flooded roadways. Don't drive around barricades. They're there for a reason.
For IU NewsNet, I'm Lacey Carr.
When it rains, it gets even tougher to spot potholes until your car is right on top of them. And ask any driver, Bloomington has a pothole problem. Let's go out to IU NewsNet's Andrew Hillsman, who has the latest on the problem and the city's attempt to keep up with it. Andrew?
Yeah, thanks guys. I'm here on the south side of IU Bloomington's campus. Just behind me you can see a couple of minor potholes in the road, but those are nothing compared to some of the others that are around the IU Bloomington campus, some even big enough to cause serious damage to your car and your tires. So a big thing to watch out for, especially when the spring showers come around. We're heading out of rain, or out of the winter season. When the rain comes around, be sure not to drive through them. You don't know how deep they're going to be. Bloomington does have a program where you can report them and hopefully get them fixed, but many people don't even know the program exists.
No, I was not aware of that. But now that I am, I think I may have to use that because there's a lot around here. They're a little bit more rough on the car when you hit them, especially you're driving just straight through them instead of like just on the side.
So that's the latest. Keep an eye out along your local areas to see if your potholes have been fixed. If you want to use the city's reporting feature, that's all we've got from here. That's the latest. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Andrew. Indiana now has 6 cases of measles, a highly infectious disease, spreading across the country once again. All 6 cases are in Allen County in northern Indiana. The cases involve 4 unvaccinated minors and 2 adults. Indiana health officials are urging residents to verify their vaccination status. Measles is preventable with 2 doses of the MMR vaccine, which provides over 97% protection. Most people got the vaccinations as children. The Indiana Department of Health says symptoms include fever, cough, and a rash.
Someone reported a strangulation incident at Phi Sigma Kappa fraternity. According to the IUPD police log, the incident reportedly occurred December 6th, but the official report came through just this month on April 2nd. 2 weeks ago, the fraternity was placed on cease and desist until further notice. All Greek life at IU was shut down from March 5th to the 24th to address health and safety concerns. For most Greek houses, activities have resumed.
When we come back, graduating seniors are facing the next big challenge in their lives, the job search. Some have already locked it down, but others are facing a scary unknown. We'll check in on the progress.
Plus, on this National Library Week, local libraries are feeling the heat, facing threats of funding cuts and book bans. That story ahead, stay with us. Welcome back to IU NewsNet. We have new information on a story we brought you last week. An 18-year-old accused of firing shots in a playground is facing new, more serious charges.
Surveillance cameras captured it over a week ago near Crestmont Park, northwest of the IU campus. According to police, a verbal fight escalated, prompting Gregory Baker Jr. to pull out a gun and begin firing at 2 people who ran away. No one was injured, but Baker faces attempted murder, attempted aggravated battery, attempted battery by means of a deadly weapon, and criminal recklessness charges. 2 years ago, Baker's parents were charged after police found him, at just 16 years old, in possession of a semi-automatic assault rifle and several other firearms.
A Bloomington massage parlor is shut down and its owners is facing multiple felony charges after a nearly 6-month investigation. Ellettsville police say their investigation into Sunflower 99 Spa began last October after a tip about illegal sexual services at the business located in Richland Plaza. The 51-year-old owner was arrested last month in Virginia after a license plate reader flagged his vehicle. He now faces 10 charges including prostitution, corrupt business practices, child pornography, possession, as well as several misdemeanors.
Graduation is just a month away, and it's either celebration time or crunch time when it comes to getting that first real job out of school. IU NewsNet's Matt Vogel checks in with some soon-to-be graduates on the search.
Yeah, Dr. Laura Merrifield Wilson.
Starting a paid job in television before you even graduate is rare. But for IU Media School senior Ashton Hackman, the future is now.
It's a multi-agency effort to get guns and drugs off of the streets.
Hackman started his job as a multi-skilled journalist in March at NBC affiliate WTHR in Indianapolis, where he interned last summer.
The job that I was looking for was there wasn't any open spots, and because of budgets, they didn't have an open position. But luckily, with how often people move in the industry, there was people at WTHR who left to go to other stations, so that opened up a spot.
But there's been no open spot for IU senior Bryce Redman. For the past several months, Redmond has been on the hunt for a job in sports marketing. IU has helped with resources, but jobs can be even tougher to land in the sports area.
And they made the interview process pretty easy to help me get an interview and help me get across, but it's just been hard for me to get callbacks. No certain reason, I don't know why, but it's just been hard.
How are job prospects for graduating seniors looking overall right now? The National Association for Colleges and Employers says that hiring for the class of 2025 will be up 7.3%. Some of the most promising job categories include healthcare, finance, technology, and data science. But for Hackman, an internship unlocked the opportunity.
When the time came for me to look for a job, my interview process felt a little bit easier because I didn't have to spend time to introduce myself, kind of go over my past work.
For IU NewsNet, I'm Matt Vogel.
It's National Library Week, a celebration which honors the impact local libraries and their workers have on our communities. Each year, the Monroe County Public Library picks a new theme echoing the same message: intellectual freedom. This comes as the Trump administration makes cuts to reduce federal spending for libraries and as book bans make a comeback. New data from the American Library Association reveals the third highest number of book challenges since 1990. This year, the Monroe County Public Library is asking visitors what draws them to the library.
It's just a good reminder that the library is for everyone, and everyone has the freedom to read or consume media that they enjoy.
National Library Week lasts through April 12th. For more information about the most challenged books of 2024, you can visit ALA.com.
A promise from Bloomington Mayor Carrie Thompson is aimed at addressing the city's unhoused population and shifting funding to better support those in need. In her second State of the City address, Thompson called housing and homelessness two of Bloomington's biggest challenges. To tackle the issue, last year she brought together local housing experts and service providers to help develop a comprehensive housing and action plan. The plan, now in effect, involves nonprofit groups like Middle Way House, Wheeler Mission, and a group called Heading Home of South Central Indiana. Thompson says the plan has her full support, and city funding will only go to organizations that back it.
I made a clear promise, and I'm keeping it. City funding will go only to organizations and community partners aligned with this coordinated framework. If you're not part of the solution, you won't be part of our funding.
In her address, Mayor Thompson stressed the need for greater transparency across city government. She also provided staffing updates, including ongoing efforts to fill open positions in both the police and fire departments.
IU's Hamilton Luger School hosted a campus first this week. It's called Africa Fest, a lively celebration of African countries that had a little bit of something for everyone. IU NewsNet's Ava Fermuga takes us there.
Every year, students in the African Languages program put on a performance that showcases their culture and heritage, encouraging audience participation and promoting unity. It looks and sounds like this. But this year, they took it a step further by hosting the first Africa Fest. The event celebrated Africa's diversity while challenging the stereotype of a single wild continent with animals roaming free and people living in huts.
And I remember when I first came here to the U.S. in late 1980s, and someone asked me where you come from. I said, Zanzibar. Oh, do you live in huts or under the trees? And I said, no. Why do you ask that?
Those misconceptions inspired the event. Students had the opportunity to explore the diverse regions of Africa by visiting various stations featuring artwork, traditional decor, clothing, games, and even food and drinks.
Not only do you get to explore the unique cultures, but you get to taste them as well, like this South African juice. Cheers!
Cheers!
How do you say I like it? Lekker.
This event was strategically located in the atrium of the Global International Studies building, so kids would stumble upon it on their way to and from class and be compelled to check it out.
It just provides exposure to kids that would, they'd never go looking for it, and now it's kind of in their face, so they kind of get to see it a little bit, and maybe they'll learn something.
And that was precisely the goal of the event, for students to learn about the abundance of culture within Africa. But while the event aimed to inform, they certainly did not forget to have fun as well. For IU NewsNet, I am Ava Fermuka.
There's a new spot on campus that's all about staying active and enjoying the outdoors. IU just opened a 30,000 square foot outdoor rec park in the Northwest neighborhood. With pickleball courts, a futsal field, and a full basketball court designed to look like Assembly Hall, students, faculty, and staff are all invited to take advantage of the rec center at no cost. Lights stay on into the night, so you can get a workout in even after the sun goes down. IU hopes the park will bring people together and promote a healthier campus, all while showing off some Hoosier spirit. When we come back, players in and players out. We'll have an update on the portal action and transfers to and from the IU basketball teams.
Plus, IU baseball wins their 4th game in a row. We will show you how they got it done on Tuesday. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Some new names are coming to the IU basketball roster while familiar players enter the portal and commit to other universities.
Nick Abel joins us with details in IU NewsNet Sports. Nick?
The college basketball season came to a close with the Florida Gators winning the national championship on Monday. The attention now turns to next season as teams look to adjust their rosters. The Indiana Hoosiers had even more roster changes this week. 2 more former IU players in the portal announced their new homes for next season. Sophomore guard Miles Rice is staying in the Big Ten. He will play for the Maryland Terrapins. Rice averaged over 10 points a game for the Hoosiers last season. Ja'Kai Newton, who dealt with injuries that kept him sidelined for most of his IU career, moves to Atlanta with his commitment to Georgia State. The Hoosiers also picked up Reed Bailey from the transfer portal. The Davidson forward averaged over 18 points per game and will bolster the Hoosiers' front court. The IU women's team is also in full rebuild mode. Their biggest loss announced where she will be playing next season. Yarden Garzone announced her in-conference move to Maryland. Garzone is the IU record holder for career three-pointers with 220 makes. She led the Hoosiers in scoring this season with 14 points per game. Head coach Terry Morin did add another guard to the roster to help with the loss of Garzone. Former Arkansas Razorback and Netherlands native Phoenix Stotine announced her commitment to IU on Monday. She averaged 7 points per contest in her one season for Arkansas. She will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. After sweeping Michigan State, Indiana baseball defeated Ball State on Tuesday night to extend its winning streak to 4 games. For playing for the 4th time in 3 days, the Hoosiers took down the Cardinals, improving to a season-high 5 games over 500. While there was once again plenty of small ball to go around, outfielder Corbin Dickerson hit his 15th homer of the season to punctuate a 5-run 3rd inning. The Louisville transfer is now tied for 2nd in the nation in homers. Indiana's pitchers were excellent, led by Darren Swanson. The lefty turned in 4 1/3 scoreless innings and gave the Hoosiers a long midweek outing, something they have been searching for all season long.
It was really Coach Glenn. I kind of wanted somebody else in the 2nd inning, and he said, I really think Swanson's got a chance to just run with it. And things got a little bit rocky there, and we kind of looked at each other and, man, I hope our plan doesn't go sideways. And he settled back in and attacked and just did a tremendous job. It really is the reason that we won the game. We were able to piece it together from there.
Currently in a 3-way tie for 5th in the Big Ten, the Hoosiers head to Illinois for a 3-game series versus the 8th-place Illini beginning at 7 p.m. Friday. IU softball is on a hot streak of their own. They took down Louisville last night to make it 5 straight victories, and they broke some history along the way. Louisville came out firing, scoring 2 runs in the top of the 1st, but after that, it was all Hoosiers. IU knocked in 8 runs on 12 hits, and Brianna Copeland did it all. Copeland's hit her 31st home run in the bottom of the 3rd, making her the all-time IU home run leader. On top of that, she threw a complete game, only allowing 3 runs on 3 hits. She had a simple approach on her record-setting home run swing.
I was like, just get something up the middle, and she gave me a pitch down the middle, so I hit it. And I didn't really get to see where it landed. Everybody was telling me that it went really far. I looked at the dugout to see if they'd give me a reaction, and nobody was looking at me. So I never got to see the ball land, but it was good to hit it.
Copeland and the Hoosiers will look to keep up the good play in Madison this weekend as they take on the Wisconsin Badgers in a 3-game series that starts on Friday at 7 p.m. There's no shortage of athletic clubs at IU, but one particularly close-knit team went all the way to Philadelphia to defend their national title. IU NewsNet's Carson Johnson caught up with them before they left.
The IU Gymnastics Club isn't just about competition, it's about community. With their national competition running from Wednesday afternoon through Saturday evening, the team is training hard to defend their title. Last year, the club's women's platinum team brought home a national title, which had the whole team saying,
"Holy, we actually did it, we won."
But their biggest strength isn't in routines or trophies, it's in the bond that they share.
But we're just like a family. We fight like a family. We get along like a family, and definitely do a lot of silly things.
For the team, improvement doesn't just mean honing their skills, it means lifting each other up.
We have been doing a lot of just routines after routines and doing a lot of just like team building type stuff, really working on cheering each other on during practice, and then just making sure we're adding in extra stretching and conditioning to make sure that our bodies are ready.
And the best part is no prior experience is required. So whether you've been doing gymnastics all your life or you just taught yourself how to do cartwheels in your backyard, the IUGC will welcome you. As you're watching this, the team is in Philadelphia fighting for another title. But win or lose, they're tumbling away from this season with fond memories and a tight bond. For IU NewsNet, I'm Carson Johnson.
That's all for sports this week, and don't forget to catch a tradition unlike any other, as professionals golfers head to Augusta, Georgia to capture the coveted green jacket this weekend at the Masters. Back to you at the desk.
One more thing before we go. Hollywood comes to Bloomington.
You may know Miles Teller from the movies Whiplash and Maverick Top Gun, but he's also the owner of the company Long Drink, and that's what brought him here for a mini bar crawl. Students packed the upstairs and waited several hours for a chance to meet him. Miles Teller handed out drinks, shirts, and autographs. At 8 p.m., he headed to Kilroy's on Kirkwood to meet another slew of college students and stayed until 10.
That's it for IU NewsNet for now. We have a behind-the-scenes student production team in the control room and working in the studio for this broadcast. We thank them, and we thank you for watching. I'm Nick Rodecap.
And I'm Kelsey Pease. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at IU NewsNet and on the IU Media School YouTube channel. Take care, and we'll see you next week.